This is ABC7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. A man who was caught on camera looking up women's skirts at a Sarasota store had his first court appearance today.
Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies say the voyeurism was going on at the Walmart on Cattleman Road. And that's where we find ABC7's Rick Adams with the latest on this arrest. Rick.
Yeah, Haley and Scott, folks are shocked that this happened here. One man was caught on camera doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing. This is surveillance video released by the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. It clearly shows a man bending down and peeking up women's skirts. Deputies say it happened at least a few times in October at this Walmart on Cattleman Road in Sarasota. 62-year-old Alan Ralph is being charged with 3 counts of voyeurism.
The victims certainly feel violated. In this particular case, it's a violation of their personal body, their space.
At his first court appearance on Tuesday, a judge set Alan Ralph's bail at $15,000. Sue Ford is a Sarasota resident who shops at this Walmart occasionally. She couldn't believe this voyeuristic activity was going on at the store.
Do you know, nothing surprises me anymore. I don't know what's happening. I really don't. We seem to be going backwards, not forwards.
Northport resident Michael Crea says Ralph should be punished for his actions, maybe even serve some jail time.
That's pretty sad. There's other ways to get your kicks than do something like that in a Walmart.
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office were first made aware of the peeping man after one of the victims contacted them. Deputies were able to identify Alan Ralph through surveillance video and from his credit card transactions at Walmart. And the Sheriff's Office believes there are more victims. If you feel you've been violated of this crime, you're being asked to contact authorities immediately. Reporting live from Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
Thank you, Rick. An Inglewood man faces 15 years in prison after a federal jury found him guilty of possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. The investigation into Ernest Chambliss began last year when detectives learned he was selling drugs and firearms out of his Inglewood home. Chambliss's arrest was part of a nationwide program to reduce gun violence. He has prior drug and firearms convictions. Chambliss will be sentenced in March.
New developments tonight surrounding the death of a former NFL player. The man accused of shooting and killing Joe McKnight is under arrest again. Ronald Gasser was initially taken into custody after Thursday's apparent road rage incident in Terrytown, Louisiana. But he was released pending further investigation. Today, the sheriff of Jefferson Parish announced Gasser is back in custody facing a manslaughter charge. Sheriff Newell Normand also lashed out at the public's criticism for initially releasing Gasser. He says it was part of a strategy to get more interviews and make a better case.
A terror threat has authorities stepping up security around metro stations across Los Angeles. The FBI received an anonymous call last night threatening the Red Line station in Universal City. Trains on the Red Line have been running on time, but officers with rifles and police dogs are at the station. Most commuters don't seem to be too worried.
They've always had a high security over here in general, but I don't think it's like that big a deal as much like we got to always be cautious, be cautious. Obviously the sheriffs are, but I truly don't think anything is going to happen right now.
LA's mayor is urging people to go about their lives as normal and not be alarmed with this heightened police presence at metro stations. Police are still vetting the credibility of the threat.
No doubt everyone's plants and lawns are sort of enjoying the rain.
They needed it badly. Let's head over to Bob with a check on our forecast.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we had some rainfall around as expected. No real severe weather, but some storms at times, bringing some windy weather up to 30 miles an hour with some of the gusts and even some lightning strikes occurring. And we had some video of this actually shot downtown Sarasota or near there. And you can see the rain falling gently upon the trees and puddling up a bit on some of the roadways there. Some places picking up nearly 2 inches of rain, while others only about 2/100ths of an inch. So it wasn't equally spread around, but nonetheless, it was much needed, and we did get quite a bit in some areas. So all that rain for the most part is gone now. We have some clearing of the skies, 74 degrees, the dew point 72. This number will start to come down a little bit. The drier air will filter in once those winds start to switch around more to a northwesterly direction, and that's probably happening right now at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport as this line continues to sink to the south. That is the actual dividing line between the cooler and drier air. We'll have more in the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. President-elect Donald Trump, for the second time, addressing reporters in Trump Tower. most recently to announce a deal with a Japanese businessman to invest billions of dollars into the United States. ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington with Trump's latest deal playing out on Twitter and in front of cameras.
The president-elect posting to social media about his latest deal and then, seconds later, solidifying it with a handshake in front of cameras.
And he's just agreed to invest $50 billion in the United States and 50,000 jobs.
Tweeting this deal wouldn't have happened if he hadn't won. Almost deja vu of how Trump criticized a government contract with Boeing to build new Air Force One planes. First with a tweet and then an unexpected appearance.
Well, the plane is totally out of control. It's going to be over $4 billion. It's for Air Force One program. And I think it's ridiculous.
Now questions over where Trump got the $4 billion price tag. Boeing releasing a statement saying it's currently under contract for $170 million for the next generation of Air Force One planes. Trump will fly in his own plane as he continues his thank you tour in key battleground states. With Hillary Clinton still up by more than 2.5 million in the popular vote, House Democrats are calling into question the legitimacy of the Electoral College and proposing ways to limit its power. One suggestion, guaranteeing that states' Electoral College votes are awarded to the winner of the national popular vote.
I don't think we can sustain our American democracy by having the majority ruled by the minority.
The Electoral College meets December 19th to cast their votes. In the meantime, after North Carolina, Donald Trump will take his thank you tour to Iowa on Thursday and Michigan on Friday. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
3 Central Florida voters are suing for a recount. The voters claim that Hillary Clinton, not Donald Trump, actually won Florida. They say malfunctioning machines and hacking were the culprits. The 3 voters are now demanding a hand recount of every paper ballot in Florida. But some lawyers advise that the defendants, President-elect Donald Trump, Governor Rick Scott, and the 29 Republican electors from Florida may not respond before the Electoral College meets on December 19th.
Florida's 2016 Christmas tree is now up and shining bright at the Capitol. Governor Rick Scott and his wife Ann lit the tree earlier today. Florida-grown Carolina Sapphire is one of roughly 16,000 trees that will be harvested and sold by Christmas tree farms across the state. The fresh Christmas tree industry in Florida adds about $3 million to the state's economy.
This is an exciting time for all of us to come together and celebrate a Florida business that's growing fresh from Florida products that will really brighten up the homes of lots of Floridians.
This year's tree was provided by a Dade City Christmas tree farm, and it looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Grown in Florida.
Nice.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, no more sitting around waiting to hear from the doctor about your loved one.
How a new app is keeping people better informed about patients' progress at SMH. That's straight ahead in Health News.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Holiday scratch-offs are here, and oh, they make great surprises. Imagine the joy they will bring. With over $126 million in prizes, use them for a wreath or a place card for your feast. Attach them, scratch them, and let the magic happen. Holiday scratch-offs. The Florida Lottery has them. Just imagine.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter mile north of University Parkway.
Are
you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner. After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Don't miss the 19th annual Thunder by the Bay Motorcycle Festival, January 5th through the 8th, to benefit Suncoast Charities for Children. This year's festival welcomes special guest Blue Oyster Cult to the premier sports campus at Lakewood Ranch on January 8th at 4 p.m. Admission is free. Festival events include a sporting clay tournament, kickoff party, welcome Thunder event, Cruise for Cash charity motorcycle ride, and a 2-day Rockin' and Ridin' at the Ranch festival featuring vendors, live music, a taste of Thunder area, and more. VIP tickets are available. For tickets and info, visit thunderbythebay.org.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Watching your loved one wheeled away for surgery is nerve-wracking, but waiting for updates can be equally unnerving. ABC7's Alex Redmond joins us with how some new technology is easing those concerns. Alex.
Thanks, Haley. Minutes can feel like hours when you wait for someone you care about to come out of surgery, and during that time, silence can be deafening. Now, Sarasota Memorial Hospital is easing wait time worries with an app that puts updates in the palm of your hand. Pat Everett has many emotions.
Sad, worried about him, you know, but then I'm glad I have my family here with me.
As Everett waits for news of her husband William's bypass surgery, she reminisces of past experiences.
You'd just sit in the waiting room and you'd never know what was going on.
But times have changed.
So I downloaded the app. We left him in the pre-op and gave him hugs and kisses and came down here to the waiting room. And about 50 minutes later, we got the first text, and the text said, surgery's about to begin, all going well.
Kevin Everett, the patient's son, is receiving text updates from Sarasota Memorial Hospital's OR team.
About an hour and 20 minutes later, we have a second text saying he is now on the bypass machine, still going very well. And then just recently, we had another text. William is continuing to do very well. Doctor is working on the bypass now.
The phone app gives updates in a timely manner. It allows people to know what's happening to their loved one. But until this, there was only this message board, which lets people know where the patient physically is in the building, whether it's pre-op, in the OR, or post-op. Nurse Michelle Tingle explains the Ease app communicates with patients' families during surgery through text and pictures.
Every 30 to 45 minutes they receive an update. You know, the patient's safely asleep. If it's a hip surgery, you know, maybe the implant has gone in. Sometimes they'll take a picture of an x-ray showing the finished product of the implant in.
Even video.
If it's a robotic surgery, of the physical robot in action, or the surgeon behind the console of the robot, because nobody really gets to see inside, you know, the operating room.
Jim Everett says it's different from when his wife had heart surgery.
Very emotional, because my wife is small and we've been married 58 years.
His brother's surgery progress reports ease his mind.
Watching what Kevin is doing with his updates, it's very reassuring that someone is right there giving us a blow-by-blow.
This is not the first time SMH has used technology to help patients. ABC7 reported in 2015 of their free app for expectant mothers called SMH Baby. Women can just enter their baby's due date and get regular reminders on classes, doctor's appointments, and other important dates, as well as links to parenting resources. Back to you, Haley.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you, Alex. Now let's head over to Bob.
Well, just for a little bit, right before the sun set, skies did clear a little bit. This from Barb Wilson, who sends photos in occasionally with a golf course off in the background there at the Venice area. And I'll tell you what, we had a lot of rain in some areas, not everywhere, but some areas got a pretty good downpour for a short period of time. As expected with this front, it continues to push to the southeast. It will eventually pull up stationary over South Florida. far enough away from us to not really have a big impact on our weather as far as rain goes. But what's going on behind it, we have more of a westerly wind flow, and that will allow the possibility of fog to form throughout the overnight hours. Some of that fog can be rather thick at times, so be aware that if you're commuting tomorrow morning early, it may be an issue. It eventually will burn off. The actual wind shift change is still back here. The front itself, or the prefrontal trough, is well down to our south. And we'll see that drier and slightly cooler air move in throughout the day tomorrow. You'll notice the drier air moving in, the lower humidity around. Now, that big area of low pressure continues to work its way off the northeast. Weather headlines read like this: some fog overnight. Another cold front moves through on Thursday night, Friday morning. That cold front is going to be much stronger, so you will eventually need your jackets and sweaters, especially on Friday night and Saturday morning. And the cool down, though, won't be around very long. It's only going to be sticking around for about 36 hours. Tonight, not that cool at all. Temperature 71 degrees. Skies clearing somewhat by 11 o'clock for your evening planner. And looking at the future cast, showing that front hanging up down to our south. So it becomes parallel with the upper level wind flow. And that means we're not going to see much more of a push down to the south. There it will sit. Eventually, it works its way back northward and brings us a chance for showers late Thursday as a result of that storm system developing to the west of us, which will eventually sweep this stronger cold front away, which will be moving through parts of the lower Mississippi Valley by Thursday evening, say around 5:30. So for us, looks like frontal passage will be sometime around 5 a.m. It'll take about 12 hours for it to get down here. For winds, sustained winds, they're basically out of the west and southwest right now, but they will be switching more to a northwesterly direction. That begins later on this evening, which will start to bring in that drier air. Currently it's 74, so still pretty warm. Winds out of the southwest, the pressure 29.93 inches. The high today, 80 degrees above average, and the record 86 set back in 1994. This morning's low was summer-like at 72, our normal low at 55 degrees. Well, finally, the airport getting a much-needed rain there, 1.18 inches of rainfall around the Whitfield area. The monthly total, that's where it stands. And now we're above average for the month of December. As far as the forecast goes, there's a chance for an evening shower, but not much. And we'll see generally partly cloudy skies throughout the day tomorrow. And it looks as though temperatures will warm into the mid-70s for highs tomorrow. So not much of a cold front, I told you that. But the one behind it will be noticeable. You'll see that especially come Friday and Saturday. There's that drier air I mentioned, so this is more of a wind shift and dry air change as opposed to cold air mass moving in. Fog tomorrow morning, seas running 2 to 4 feet, a light chop on the bays and inland waters. Water temperature now 73, which is a little bit above average, and the UV index at 7 tomorrow. High tide at 6:20, and a low tide will be at 12:32. The forecast looks like this: a few evening showers still possible, 1 or 2 sprinkles, if you will, otherwise partly cloudy. That fog forming late tonight, 65 for a low, which is above average. Tomorrow, even the temperature for a high will be above average. So partly cloudy skies after the fog burns off. The extended forecast looks like this: that 30% chance of rain comes mainly late Thursday and more so Friday morning. The showers will be around, and then we cool down. But as I mentioned, just for a little bit, we're back to above average by Sunday. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. No accidents right now, but US 41 is busy. Some backup near Fruitville Road in Sarasota.
The Supreme Court is throwing out a nearly $400 million judgment against Samsung in its iPhone fight with Apple. Apple had accused Samsung of copying the design of the iPhone back in 2011. The court ruled Apple might not be entitled to Samsung's entire profits on the phone, but possibly profits relating to certain components. Apple says it holds patents on some features, including the flat screen and the shape of the phone. A lower court will now decide what Samsung will have to pay.
Google is going even more green. The company plans to buy enough renewable energy to power all of its operations in 2017. That includes 13 data centers and offices in 150 cities. Google says its long-term goal is to run on clean, zero-carbon energy full-time every day of the year.
Wow.
That's a good goal to have.
That is a
hard
huge
one
accomplishment.
to accomplish.
Entertainment news is next. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Black Friday's biggest deals are still here. That's right, the Black Friday sales event is going strong at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or check out the stylish new Jeep Renegade, starting at just $16,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called three-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Dottoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue, local Pitmasters since '68.
Beyonce and Adele are going head-to-head for this year's top Grammy Awards.
Pretty good talent right there. Both are up for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Album of the Year. But Beyonce leads the pack with 9 nominations total. That's followed by Drake, Rihanna, and Kanye West, who each received 8. The late David Bowie's album, Black Star, was nominated in the Alternative Music Album category. 13,000 music industry insiders voted on more than 21,000 recordings. James Corden of The Late Late Show will host this year's ceremony, which will air Sunday, February 12th.
Lady Gaga is revealing some very personal news. The pop star says she suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. She shared the news for the first time with a group of homeless LGBT youth in New York. Gaga says she started suffering from PTSD after she was raped at the age of 19. She revealed that she was also sexually assaulted in 2014. Her Oscar-nominated song, Till It Happens to You, speaks out about the experience.
Jimmy Kimmel will stay very busy in 2017. We told you yesterday that he'll host this year's Oscars. Well, Kimmel announced on his ABC Late Night show last night that he and his wife Molly McNeary are now expecting their second child. Kimmel and McNeary already have a 2-year-old daughter. Kimmel also has an adult son and daughter from his first marriage.
The Mummy is returning to theaters. The first trailer starring Tom Cruise was released this week. The film is a reboot of the Mummy franchise and will act as the launch of a cinematic shared universe of Universal's monster movies. The Mummy hits theaters next June.
Actor Bill Murray helped make a birthday extra special for one woman in Texas. Mary Ellen Weibel turned 94 years old this weekend, but since she lost her husband, she's been feeling a bit down. So, to cheer her up, her grandson took her to a college basketball game. Well, Bill Murray just happened to be at that game, and he not only took a photo with her, but helped sing happy birthday as well.
Well, good for her. That's exciting.
I think that'll brighten her day.
I think it definitely will. We'll be right back.